Welcome back to CryptoWealthy channel, guys. Finally, in Monday's episode with Cup of Coffee, we have some interesting development price news over here to discuss about Bitcoin. Also, we're going to mention one more coin, and that's XRP Ripple. Yes, because I love the chart that XRP is making. So if you're interested only in XRP analysis, just skip to that part because I will mark it on the timeline down. But also we need to go through some metrics to discuss about bearish scenario over here in the Bitcoin, because yes, we do have some more technical news from the Cointelegraph, and also we do have some indications over here on the charts to show you what could potentially happen if we do not break $20,000 very soon, because right now we are in stagnation and we need to cover this so I can give you the new picture over here on the charts. And now let's begin. So first thing first, we didn't do technical analysis already for the 2 or 3 days, and that's good because we do have something to discuss about. And as we can see over here, ladies and gentlemen, only by the candlesticks we can say that the Bitcoin is slowing down a little bit. And also, as you can see, this is the weekly chart, and we've been stopped out on $20,000. One of the signs for slowing down in this trend over here, which doesn't mean that we're going to reverse into the bearish side or anything, but it does mean that we are having some lagging over here, or at least some slowing down into the trend, is because, as you can see over here, because of this doji candle on the weekly chart. And it is important, doji candle on the weekly chart, because as the word says, it is on the weekly chart. And also last read today's candle over here on the weekly chart, because today we opened the new week. It's also the red one, which means that we stopped over here somewhere approximately around $19,200, and it seems like that the bulls don't want to push further. Now, of course, we have 6 more days to see what will happen with the Bitcoin. If we break $20,000, well, guess what? We are bullish, and there is a big potential that we may see at the end of this week $21,000 of the Bitcoin. But if the Bitcoin managed to stagnate in the next 6 days, over here where it is right now, if we don't break at least this week over here, which is pretty much $20,000, as you can see, then we may actually see confirmation, some sort of a confirmation or some candlestick pattern over here forming for reverse, or let's say for retrace to 20 exponential weekly moving average, to retest some of the moving averages, or at least over here on the daily chart, some of the moving averages, to let bears take profits first, then surge to the upside. Also, we have multiple reasons why this could potentially happen, and I'm going to give you some of them right now. So we are over here on this Cointelegraph article, and they do have some very interesting signs or signals to give us, what to watch. And that's gold, that's also dollar chart, and also S&P 500. Now, one thing we need to mention for the S&P 500, if we switch to the S&P 500 very quickly, you can see that we are in the uptrend, and the Bitcoin is still following traditional market S&P 500 or stocks. And as you can see, as long as S&P 500 is pushing to the upside, it seems like that the Bitcoin is doing the same thing. Now with the gold, this is a little bit interesting, because the gold, as you can see, since 5th of August, when we actually topped on that all-time high, let's call it like that, because it is, then the Bitcoin starts surging to the upside, while the gold starts dropping into this very, very big consolidation pattern, or let's say maybe continuation pattern, because we still didn't break from it on the gold chart. So if we switch on the Bitcoin, we already have something to compare with, and that's gold. And as you can see over here, we do have drop since that all-time high over here. And as you can see, Bitcoin, since there, we had a slight correction over here and then big push to the upside. And as you can see, this X is showing you 2 different ways, which means that if the gold continues with this big pump over here that it had, or let's say, bounce from it, or whatever it is, we are going to see maybe some sort of a correction in the Bitcoin. But that doesn't mean it will happen, because as you can see, we had a good correlation with the gold over here, and in many cases over here also insane, and all of a sudden we broke it. It doesn't mean it will happen again. Maybe we will just get back in a route with the gold. We will see how this will develop in the future, because many things are going to affect the price of the Bitcoin and the gold for sure. Since we are discussing discussing about those things, we can jump into the dollar. So as long as the dollar is falling, as you can see, the gold is pumping to the upside, but it seems like that over here in the past big dump over here that we had of the dollar, then the gold followed afterwards. So it seems like over here they are connected, they do have correlation, but as we can see, we're still not seeing any kind of a reversal patterns into the US dollar. So it seems like that the dollar is still falling, which means that the many institutional investors, most probably the smaller investors, are getting into the assets and not into the dollar. You know, they're not selling their assets right now, at least for right now. So this is the reason why we are seeing pretty good dump into the dollar. So as long as we are seeing dump into the dollar, that's not a sign that the dollar is switching towards the assets. One more very interesting chart over here is the volatility on the S&P 500, and as we can see, the volatility is dropping and we are not seeing any bigger movements on the S&P 500. We are slowly and steadily climbing to the upside, especially because we have so much printed money into the space. So if we get back into the VIX over here to check out this chart over here, I need to switch off this gold. You can see that the volatility is dropping, and as long as the volatility is dropping, the assets are going to start surging to the upside. So one big move could happen without any volatility, but you know, continuation of that certain pattern to the upside or to the downside could be followed with the surge of the volatility index. So this is the reason why we need to actually observe the volatility S&P 500 index chart in order to predict or at least try to see what could potentially happen with the down pressure movement on the S&P 500 or further to the upside. We're going to see how this will develop, but usually whenever the volatility of S&P 500 is falling to the downside, then the S&P itself, as you can see, is surging to the upside, because one of the example over here is the 30th October, and if we switch to the 30th October over here, you can see that we had a big volatility. So if you have big volatility, the S&P is going down. If the volatility is dropping, then the most probably S&P is going to steadily climb to the upside, especially because of the dollar that I just showed you. So many printed money from central banks went into the assets as the S&P 500 and many other assets as the Bitcoin cryptocurrency space also. Now, interesting fact to predict much faster fall of the Bitcoin, if it will happen, is to observe just this chart. So if this chart starts surging to the upside, if we break this 20 exponential moving average over here, starts making moves like over here, like over here, like over here, then the potential that the S&P 500 is going to drop is bigger, and after that you can know that the Bitcoin is going to follow most probably, especially because we went way too parabolic over here to the 20 exponential moving average. Of course, we had a good bounces on the daily chart over here on the 20 daily exponential moving average. All EMAs are pretty much lined up very well over here. We have no problems, and as we can see right now, we do have some sort of a consolidation phase, and this is the reason why we need to cover XRP, because I like what I see on the chart. Now, this is the 4-hourly chart of the Bitcoin. It is showing us right now at this very moment that we could potentially see some movement, some volatility in the market, at least in the cryptocurrency space or in the Bitcoin. And what I'm talking about actually is one of the consolidation phase that we have right now. I'm drawing this pattern right now, and as you can see, we are very close to actually break it over here. And this is the 4-hourly chart. It is still valid, and I do believe that many traders are watching this right now, and we're going to see how this will develop, where we are going to break to the upside or to the downside. So if we break to the downside, most probably many of the coins are going to follow and we are going to bleed, and in that particularly moment we're going to watch what S&P is doing, what dollar is doing, so we can connect all the dots. So as you can see over here, this is the consolidation phase. As long as we are entering into this narrow area over here, the volatility is dropping. As you can see over here, the volatility is dropping, which pretty much means we are gathering the pressure into the tube, let's call it like that. And after we get so small volume, then suddenly we're going to see so big spikes as we had over here. here, as we had this big volatility over here. So make sure to prepare yourself, because we're going to see some volatility in this area most probably. This could be traded on two ways, but we're not going to trade this. I'm going to tell you why. This could be traded also, you know, you can set open order over here as a long position or the short position. Actually, you can put it both, so whatever it breaks, you can be in profits, right? We set one long position above $20,000, because if I trade this on the long over here, we could be stopped on the $20,000 all over again. So I would rather wait. To break $20,000, because we're also going to have a bigger chance for a bigger momentum push to the upside, because it's $20,000, and once we break $20,000, it's going to be good FOMO, and our position could spike much higher without any risk, you know, to bring it into such a risk to be stopped out or at least declined from this level. Now on the short position, you need to watch next level of supports, which are here, over here, somewhere approximately over here, also because of this week, also this level over here. Make sure to observe those levels. Now the same thing is happening over here on the XRP USD chart, 4-hourly chart. You can see that we are coming narrow to the end of this pattern, and I don't like to see, you know, pushing through it over here, you know, to the last point of it, because whenever you have such a patterns over here, they're very subjective, but you can put an objective opinion once you see the push price, you know, to the further border of this pattern. What I mean by this is, you know, whenever the price is pushing so much further into some of the pattern, that means that you can watch that as a noise. You know, traders, it seems like they are ignoring that pattern, and that pattern is becoming unveiled every single minute or every single candle that is getting drawn in that pattern. So you should never force the pattern itself. So as we can see, XRP has some incredible pattern, consolidation pattern over here. If we break to the upside, we may see, you know, those prices that we had over here, 78 cents, $0.78, and we could surge further, and we can even break it, because there I'm going to show you on the weekly chart what I found out. And as you can see on the weekly chart over here, I'm going to switch to the logarithmic so you can see better. You can see over here with one horizontal trend line, if we draw over here this week over here, this high of that week, you can see that that's the resistance area where we stopped. Also, whenever you see one big candle which is followed with one more body candle and big wick, this is not good. This should be the warning sign for you that you may see a retracement into the price of that certain asset on the price of the charts. So make sure, please be careful over here, because this volatility with these wicks over here that I'm seeing are not good. They are not good, and they could give you warning signals for the reverse. Now it's still early, it's still early to determine that, but definitely draw this 4-hourly chart on the XRP, and if we break to the downside, yes, we are getting into the correction. So this is the reason. Already over here you can see the problems in the price, so make sure to observe this area over here that we are getting narrow, you know, to this end of this pattern, because we may see correction, and one of the reasons for that is because the daily chart is acting like that, and also the weekly chart is acting like that. Please observe this. If you're trading this, if you're new or you're buying or whatever, buying right now, make sure to slow down a little bit, watch the charts, and then figure out the next move. Also, I'm here to help you with this technical analysis to give you much better perspective. If you didn't see something, I'm trying to point you out on that. The same thing I'm doing with other YouTubers and other smart people, as Alessio Rastani. I truly recommend you to watch his videos, and many other YouTubers that are very, very smart when it comes to the price actions and technical analysis. Now it seems we covered everything over here, from the Bitcoin to the XRP. I told you what to watch and to be careful of. Right now we are pumping the pressure into the tube, as I told you, and very soon the tube will explode. It's just question, is it going to be to the upside or to the downside? You know, you have pretty good chances for both sides, so make sure to watch yourself. Don't risk, don't gamble the pattern inside, trade the pattern outside. This is very good said, because you don't want to gamble into the pattern, you want to trade outside of the pattern. Actually, you should trade the breakout. One more time, I'm repeating this. Also, Bitcoin, the same pattern is forming on the 4-hourly chart. It's going to be important. Breakout, it is most probably going to be important. As you can see, we are coming narrow to the end, so make sure to observe this. Now, thank you very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed this technical analysis. I try to be as short and precise as possible so you can understand. And if you don't understand anything, let me know in the comment section down below, and let me know if you are, better trader than me or any of us over here. Let me know your opinion in the comment section down below. I'm really interested in it, so we will have discussion. I'm watching every single comment and I will try to answer and bring you respect on that side, right? So if you have more questions, you can find us also on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and also over here on the YouTube channel. And soon we're going to switch to the Stratus, the most freest ecosystem in the world, from the Apollo currency, Apollo Fintech. So make sure to follow us there if you're on Stratus. I want to thank you one more time for every single minute and view on this channel. Till the next episode, happy trading and goodbye.